Hey everybody, it's Illy Trading. I am here for another weekly end of the week, beginning of the new week trading recap. So we had some very interesting things. As you girl can see, I am so happy because it is my season. My season has finally arrived. We are in bear territory. So I know you guys are like, it's an ugly market. But for me, I don't care if the market is up and down. I just go with the market, I make the move and I go up. But this, I love to see it. You would really think that my favorite color is red, but it's really not. My favorite color is blue. I probably should make my candles blue, but I'm not trying to do all that because I actually am so used to this and I really like seeing the red. So anyway, as I digress from my craziness. So anyway, we have NASDAQ NASDAQ 100, okay? We have NQ. So let's just go ahead and take a look at this. So we already know it is time for correction, okay? Why is it time for correction? Because we have such a strong look at that. Look at that. Pew. Okay, what goes up must come down. What must come down must go up. All right, so we're just taking a look at this, and this is where we are at. Now, as you can see, I have my trend lines. This is the daily chart. So I have my trend lines here going up, right? So this is the steeper trend line on the most recent run up that we had. This run up started in March 31st and we hit our cap at 31,080. So not too bad, right? We started off around 23. That's a lot of running. All right. We did a lot of running. So it's now time for everyone to start taking their profits, do a little correction, come down to a discount price, and then try to go back up. So let's take a look and see where we'll be doing at discount real quick on this. Because what we'll do is on the bigger time frame, we'll take a look at this and we will try to figure out where we're going to be, where we are heading to find out where we will be going. Whoopsies. All right, let's do this again. So we're going to start from the bottom up to the top where we plateaued at. That's where I have my previous markings at, right? So these will be my targets for after we hit our 50 mark, our 0.5 fib mark. I would be looking for a nice little bounce up to these higher parts. I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know, but it's here for when we do get there. So I can be like, see, told you. But anyway, so we are looking right here at the 0.618 and 0.15. It's a little shy of that, but that is where I have my support. So what I'm going to like to do, I like to make this a little bit thicker. So I know like this is like major support or fib area here. So that when I do get to this time frame, when we get to this point, when she come down, I'm going to be looking for a reversal. I'm not going to be looking for any more sales. Just because I don't want to get caught in that, because I do know at one point the market is about correction and then going doing what it's going to do. Once you kind of learn how to navigate the market, you know how to make the pricing benefit yourself a little bit better, right? So here we go. Right here, we have these already marked off. Okay. I know you guys say this a lot of lines, Ellie. It is a lot of lines, but they really do tell me everything I need to know. I only add lines on when I'm actually trading because I'm actually in the trade. So I do create more support and resistance or a roadmap for me when I'm in the trades. So these are my major support lines on the 4 hour and daily, as you can already see, right? So the daily, we have a top off here. We're not making any more highs, right? We're making more lows. So we're going down. We have crossed over our major trend line. So we are looking for down moves. We are under all EMAs, except the 200 on the daily. We're under the 50, 21, 13, and 9 EMA on the daily chart. So we're going down. Drop down to the 4 hour. We are down. We are under all EMAs at this point, 200, 50, 21, 13, and 9. We are below the trend line. So we are like on all time frames, we are starting to match up, right? So that's a for some people, that's not a good sign because it's a sell, but for me, it's a good sign because I'm looking for sales. At this point in juncture, I'm not really looking for any buys. I'm looking for a pullback for a sell back down. And as you can already see, I'm going to add another support line here, right? This is support because this is where we bounced off at. This is recent support. So I am looking for a nice little pullback for us to come back down to break this support and come to here we go. This is our point, our 0.16 area. This will be our point 5, 0.5 area. All right. So we can, if we were already in the trade, we could have took this thing and rode it all the way down. But sometimes it's scary because the pullbacks can get you really scared, and that's okay. But that's what we're looking for. So I am looking for shorts. I'm not looking for a recovery, real big bounce for buys up just because we're in a correction mode. All right, so I would love to see us open on Sunday, kind of like gear up to go up to 29,000. Even I'll even take 29,400, right? Take that, reject off, and then come through, break this support of 28,500, and then continue down to 27,827, and then continue down to 26,750. So those would be my TPs, right? Have a nice pullback to either this 29,100, 120, right? And as you notice, I'm saying like solid numbers because the bank likes these numbers, or even 29,420, right? So I'll take either one of these pullbacks and then a nice rejection off, come through, break this support because this will be our third tap at this point. This will be the fourth tap once we come through, which is 28,500. My next support that I would be looking for, the TP will be 27,820, and then 26,750 or 780, either one. Anything in this area zone, right? So that is what I'm looking for this week coming in. I am looking for a bearish week. I know you guys are very disappointed, but your girl is ready. I cannot wait. Let's get these cells going. Okay. Let's take a look at SPY. Let's take a look at ES. All right. So we got the same thing going for ES. Let me clean this up a little bit. ES was a little bit out of character. She was not following her twin lately. She was doing like a little bit like, oh, I'm going to pull up and I'm going to do a buy. And then I'm like, oh, no, I did do it, but I didn't really do it. So we had a lot of stuff going on SPY. But anyway, SPY has broken the trend line again as well. On the 4-hour, we are under all EMAs. I'm looking for the death cross to confirm, but we are going for our EMAs. We're going down, right? So I could put a support here at 7,350. It's not a strong one. Well, I'll take it. This one, we have a tap here. We have a tap here. So I'll take it. It's about 2. So I will take that. And then I like this one too. Now, if we're looking for a 50, like if you're looking for a fib look, so let's zoom out a little bit. A little bit. We're going to take that bottom right here. Pull all the way up to the top here. All right, where's our 50? Here's our 50 right here, where we had a lot of action going at, and then here's our 60. I don't want to, I like my line here for true support, and I'll make this a little bit thicker. So we'll make these thick because we know that if the thicker it is, the more stronger it is. So I'm going to do that there. Perfect. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, so we came down, bounced off of this support right here, came up, did not take out any previous highs, came back down, but we didn't take out any lows. So this would make you think that we are looking for market structure wise that we're going to be going up. And for a while, I did think like, we could be going up because we're not making any lower lows, but we're also not making any higher highs. So once we kind of got here, we got a lot of consolidation here, a lot of movement, but not too much. We finally broke big time on this trend line here and came down. So we ended on Friday on a red note. And let's make this a little bit bigger for everybody. All right, beautiful. So we had this tap here, come up, rejection off of this major support here, right? Come down, not making any lows. We hit this 50 SMA, come up, rejection, come down, we break the trend line, but come back up. We come up, break through this resistance line here, but we fail to make any higher highs, and then we come down, and we're keep tapping on this trend line here. We are tap dancing on this, right? We come up, we have a lot of like doji candles, small volume, no big volume candles. We have a lot of like indecision going on. We finally have a major breakthrough here, and we come down. So we haven't gone to any real support. We can do a support line right here. Now, Ellie, how do you see all your support lines? I look for the ones where there's a mouse bounce at, where there's a lot of action at. If you have a lot of like wicks at that area, I still do it. A lot of times people go by bodies, go by wicks. I use all. I like the bodies because that's where they actually close, but I also like wicks because it also tells me money grab was there too. A lot of at some point there was a lot of money in that area, so it could be liquidity. I like that area. So that's kind of how I do my support and resistance. But the more taps you have, the more valid that area is for support. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a lot at this area. This is probably very, very, let me make this a little bit thicker. That's important too. This line is very important. So as you can see, we recently bounced off of that. So if I'm trading SPY or ES, I'm going to actually put a set limit. Okay, so yeah, so I am looking for major support to be broken right here. Then I will be aiming for the targets of 7,420, 7,350, as well as 7,280. I will be looking at those areas of interest for the ride down. As we continue to go down, we can be also looking at support around 7,200. Excuse me. As well as we have already put out our big fib of the point zero one, I'm sorry, 0.0618, as well as the point 0.5. Right. So those will be our targets down for the reversal back up. So after we do a nice little correction coming down, we'll be looking for an area for to see how we act in this area for rejection. So this is maybe like 2 weeks out. No, maybe like a month out. So we'll see how we do and how long it's going to take to get there. But we have now broken a major trend line. Time for reversal. Time for us to do some correction. All right. Next one is going to be gold. Gold has been doing some interesting things. As you can already see that there's a nice little triangle being built here. So I would be bearish on gold. We are not that far from the area that I have been talking about for the past 2 to 3 months of where we had major consolidation before we shot up before last year of gold. So we are not too far from the area of 3460, 3650. So we are technically under this trend line here, and we are around the support of 3964. I am looking for a nice break of this support and ride this all the way down to the consolidation zone. Now, how deep in the zone we go, I don't know. I'm sure that we're going to tap in here and shoot back up, but then have to come back in to dig deep to get all this money that's probably sitting in this area. This is a major area for me, and I've been talking about this area for some time. So I definitely see gold heading to this area, kind of digging in here and bouncing around again before we make any major moves, either back down or back up. I really don't see it going back down. I do see it going back up. All right. So I am very bearish on golds. I would like to catch a nice swing trade down and just add for every pullback that we have, just go down. Now, if you don't have a futures live account, that will be hard. So you will have to be definitely scalping that down. But if you are Forex, and I have a Forex review, you can also be able, you can manage to hold that swing down because there's no limitations on the hold. You don't have to be out of the trade by a certain time. And I just enjoy Forex a little bit better because my money, I don't have to wait to try to get anything for them to approve my money. I can just say I want to pay myself, and I go and put in the request and withdraw, and I have it within 2 hours. So I love that for me. Next one is going to be oil. Oil has been paying me like crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I made about $1,200 at the beginning of the week for this. I am bullish on oil, as we already know. Why? We have that because we have our issue down in the Strait of Hormuz. Okay. So that is nothing new. As you can see, we had a nice little last week when we opened on the 10th, going into, yeah, Sunday the 12th. We opened up with a huge gap up, pull back. So we can actually put this gap here and put that there. And the thing about oil is that it is true to fill these gap fills. So I definitely love doing the play to fill the gaps and go from there. So we are heading to closing up this gap here on oil. So we had a nice little open up, pull back, and shot right up here. We had a lot of consolidation here. We did. And then we broke it on Friday, which I thought it would happen. And then we are riding up to close this gap. Good thing is we are above all EMAs on the 4 hour. 50, 200 is starting to cross over. We're about to start back going back up. All the EMAs 9, 13, and 21, we're above it all. Gap fills should be filled. I do feel like we will open up with another gap on Sunday and continue up to then come back down to fill the gap. That's just how things happen. I don't care. I'm already in the play. Let's get that gap. Let's go ahead and market these targets. Now, what target are we looking at for this? Obviously for the gap to get filled, but if it gaps up, we open up another gap. So I'm looking at 85.20, $85.20. Also, we can do 89.90 or 90 for that. We'll be looking at 85.20, 89.93, maybe 90, as well as maybe 95. We have a nice area here. I mean, this would be interesting to have it be right around this area because that's where another support was at 85.20. So it'd be interesting to see what happens at this area if we come here and then we kind of like stall here. If we stall here, it could be a reversal, or we can stall and then continuation on. Now, where the continuation on depends on how long we're still going to be in this conflict overseas. I do feel like oil is very much only moving because of the issue, obviously, duh. But I do feel that it depends on how much longer. Wait, let me change my answer. It depends on how much money the banks want to make or the institutions want to make off of this conflict that we have, right? So we want to see how far this is going up. So we have a good little, if we want to do the swing, we're already past 50%, I believe, if we do it from here. Yeah, we're at 0.38. Let's see if we moved it to this one. So if we close the gap, that would put us at a 0.5. So that would make sense for us to go here and pull back and then go back up. But we shall see, because the way that these EMAs are looking, it looks like we are going for the long haul of going up to this area of 94.50, maybe even 90. Let's do this real quick. Do that over here. I mean, if we do from the top is that we had, no. We did that from the top. Our 50% is right here at the major support that I have here at 85. So I feel like we can make this. Let's see what we do. Let's see what our thesis is. If we're correct with this thesis of here of hitting this and then coming back down. I would be very interested to see. So I made that nice and thick for 0.5. And let's see how that goes. So we'll follow that closely. But right now I am in for a buy for oil. I can get rid of this trend line here as well. I'll leave this trend line here because it is true. So we have this nice little curve up. So let's see how it acts around this area once we fill this gap. Very interesting to see how we do in this area. So that will be most likely my TP because I don't want to get caught in the reverse down. And when oil wants to sell off, it will sell off. So those are my standpoints. Bullish on gold, obviously. Bearish on the indices as well as gold. And my theory is that gold is very similar to the indices. So if one is bear, the other one is bear, and oil is usually the opposite of those. Sometimes they run concurrently, but for the most part, that is what I'm looking at. All right, you guys, have a good one. Have a good trading week. I can't wait to see you guys on the chart. Happy trading.